This is more of my quest to make jewel cases look good. Here, this is a case for Alice in Chains album, and cases like this are hard because you can't really find something that matches this. This is like a specialty case, so you've got this yellow color, and then you got a purple color, and you can't just go out and buy something like this off the shelf. So after using a JFJ Easy Pro to fix some CDs that weren't ripping correctly, I thought maybe I would try the same technique and try to polish out a jewel case and see if I could get it looking good again. And on some of the test examples that I used, they all came out really good. So I was going to show this as an example. You can kind of see, this one's got, well, this album's like almost 30 years old. So it's got a lot of wear and tear from when I was a young man. And it's got a lot of scratches on the case. In particular, you got this part, the main part, but then also the tray insert. It also gets worn down, gets some scratches. And so here's the back, and we're gonna see if we can polish this down and make it look good again. Well, like I said, this was based on using the JFJ Easy Pro, and it uses some sponge or foam polishing pads to clean up the surface of the backside of a CD. I just happened to be walking through Home Depot, and I saw this Ryobi kit, and it came with these three things. This is way too abrasive, so you won't need that. But it came with this adapter to use in a drill, and then this hook and loop backing on it's a 3.5 inch diameter disc. And so this disc size is actually, I felt, really good for using on a CD. A lot of these are like 5 or 6 inches, and so the whole thing would be kind of covering up, and then when you went off to the corners, it'd be sticking way out. And this one, it kind of fits within the borders of a jewel case really well. I think this foam pad will probably last a really long time, but these aren't too expensive. This particular kit was like $12, and then you can get these replacements for anywhere. Like a 2-pack is like $8 to $12, but I think they'll last a really long time. And then you can use probably many things, but I just happen to have this polish from using on the JFJ for polishing CDs, and this has worked really well. And then when you polish, you want to make sure that the surface is wet. This thing, when it's spinning really fast on here, it's going to get hot, and you don't want to damage, just like on a CD, you don't want to put a lot of heat into plastic because you can get other problems. And you don't want polish like building up and drying anywhere, because that can put additional scratches, because it'll kind of polish at a different rate than the areas around it. So you want to be pretty liberal on using the polish, and then maybe you can spray some water on there every once in a while just to keep the whole thing nice and wet. Not terribly wet, but you just don't want it to be dry. So here I'm just using a corded drill, so I don't have to worry about changing the battery out. That way this thing can run for a little while. But a corded drill, I mean, I probably only realistically am using this for like 20 or 30 seconds. So even a battery operated drill would be I just happened to have this one. It was sitting around, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just use this, and then I don't have to worry about draining the battery on one of my better drills. So here, this is a little off over the top, but I made a kind of a form to hold this thing in. Then this just slots in right there, and now I can buff it and it'll support it and keep it from wiggling around. So the first thing is we, definitely want to remove all the important stuff here. All right, so now we just have the outer jewel case and then the tray. You can do these, you can do them separately. Normally anything that's in here is like in pretty good shape. It's not very often that you see this part of the tray all scratched up. It's usually just this right here that's on the outside of the jewel case. So realistically, I think just starting out with it all put together, it'll probably come out fine. So we'll just put that there. And then put some polish on here. And then don't go like super fast, because otherwise it's just gonna sling out to the side. You wanna keep it, on this work area. And then again, just keep that stuff on there. Keep it going. Spray just a little mist on it. Okay. So now we'll flip it over, get the back side. to take and go wash it with some soap and water and get all the polishing compound off of it. And let's see what we got. All right, well, hopefully the camera will capture the detail here, but this case it's pretty much brand new looking now. I don't know, I didn't really notice them before, but there's even like these little circles right here, probably where they were cast in the mold, and you can see them now pretty easily. And I didn't really notice them before. This part on the tray, I mean, it's almost brand new looking. There's just a couple deep scratches on the surface, and the polishing wheel is not going to get the deep scratches because it would have to remove a lot of plastic to get the rest of the plastic down to the same height as the depth as the deep scratch. But this is really just about removing the thousands of little micro scratches that kind of show up on jewel cases as they, get tossed in the back of a car or whatever. You put them on the shelf with other jewel cases and they rub against each other and just stuff like that. They just get these really fine scratches that are very noticeable. And so now it's, if you put this in a shrink wrap and told somebody it was like new old stock, they probably would not even question it. They probably would say, yeah, this looks pretty brand new to me. So I think this polishing wheel is definitely a pretty good solution if you're wanting to clean up some of your CDs. And for the backside, like if you've got the backside of these discs that have just kind of that haze on them, the JFJ Easy Pro will also get rid of that. And then if you did this whole thing all together, this would just look like nearly brand new.